Thank you very much. I am joined here in the Storm Tracking Center by meteorologist Julie Broughton. It's been a weird run through the morning hours, watching the rain begin to develop.
Right, we're seeing a lot of heavy rain across much of the area. Notice down to the south, all that rain still tracking up towards central Florida, so things continue to be active for us.
The big thing about this, Julie, is that so far we've had no warnings except for one tornado warning in Alachua County.
Right, north of our area.
But any of these little pockets of activity that are starting to work their way in, all of these are rotating just a bit. This action that you're seeing right here, Western Orange County, all the way down to Osceola, any of these, they're rotating lightly. They haven't tightened up into a funnel cloud yet. So far, so good. We don't have any faith that as we go through the evening hours, we're going to be lucky enough to get through without any more warnings in the area. We're getting pummeled with rain. Some folks enjoying or suffering through all the lightning strikes that are out there, but it's the heavy pockets of rain rotating through. Almost feeder band-esque. I would call them feeder bands, but they're more like feeder blobs rotating around the center of rotation out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. Rainfall rates better than an inch per hour west of Palm Coast as this moisture just funnels in here from the southwest. You see the lightning strikes from Palatka all the way into Marion County. If you're watching right now, say from around Montverde into Ocoee, heavy rain has pushed in on you in the last 20 minutes. Pouring rain from the Alworth Country Club into downtown Windermere. Gotha has a rainfall rate right now of better than an inch and a half per hour. But again, it's not just the rain, but the possibility of a small tornado spinning out of any of these thunder cells at any moment without much warning. This band of activity here south of Osceola County coming right up the seam of the state is the one that we're going to continue to watch into the evening hours. There'll be another band coming in behind that one too. We'll get this band through the next couple, say 90 minutes or so, and then another round of rain funneling in from the southwest around Fort Myers right now should show up here in the next couple of hours. The tropical storm warnings are in effect until further notice for just about everyone in Central Florida. This is what Colin looks like tonight. Not a very well put together tropical storm. The center of rotation is about right here, and all this convection has rolled away from the storm system in the last 12 hours, and much of it now funneling into Central Florida. Maximum sustained wind with this weirdly shaped system is 50 miles per hour, but much of that wind is east of the center of rotation. Should make landfall up here around the Big Bend or maybe farther west on the Panhandle as we go into the night tonight. But either way, no matter where that little eye goes, the convection is coming here. I'll be right back to do another radar tour. We'll talk a whole lot more about how long this mess lasts into our night and what we're staring at for your Tuesday morning. Ginger.
All right, Tom, thank you. Meteorologist Julie Broughton will pinpoint what's next for Tropical Storm Colin. But first, let's go to meteorologist Candace Campos. She is up near the Panhandle in Cedar Key. And Candace, I would ask you how it's looking, but we can see the wind already whipping out there. How's it feeling?
Well, when sustained winds are about 20-25, but then you'll get a quick gust about 35 to 45 is what we're actually feeling right now. But if you can see, high tide was just about an hour ago, and you can see the high tide has really been picking up all that rain when you tie it in along with the storm surge. National Hurricane Center is estimating potential of 1 to 3 feet along here, this immediate coastline. And right here in Cedar Creek, they're the most vulnerable because the way the coast is lined up, it's kind of concaved. So as Colin continues to approach, even though the exact landfall still might be to the north, the storm surge will be the big concern out here along the Gulf Coast. We've had a couple of people coming out here taking pictures because this doesn't happen all the time, but most locals here say, well, if you live this close to the beach and to the water, you need to be used to all this and take it for what it's got. So again, we're going to keep our eyes out here. We're going to continue to bring you live pictures all throughout the afternoon shows and even into this evening as Colin is expected to make its way on shore here in the Gulf Coast. Ginger?
All right, Candace, be careful out there. And let's check back in with Julie Broughton now. She joins us back inside the studio. Julie, you're tracking and pinpointing the outlook for Tropical Storm Colin.
That's right, Ginger. And again, we've been talking about that heavy rain that Tom just showed you on the radar. Very heavy rain. Pockets of 2 to 3 inches of rain falling per hour in some parts of Central Florida. Here's what it looks like right now as we take a wider look out again, showing you the satellite imagery. And again, as Tom was saying, this is not a pretty storm. This is not a well-organized storm. But what is key for us on the satellite imagery, you'll notice all those bright red and yellow explosions on the satellite imagery. That shows us that the bulk of the convection and activity is off to the east of that center of circulation, which is exactly where we are. So that is the dangerous side of the storm. And here's what we're looking at as far as our our local impacts. Already a lot of us seeing those pockets of heavy rain. Overall, we could be talking about 2 to 5 inches of rain falling per hour. And as the center continues getting a little bit closer to where it will be making landfall in the Big Bend area in the next 4 to 5 hours, we're looking at the potential of some very strong gusty winds. And our main concern as we head into the evening and even into the overnight hours is that potential of isolated tornadic activity. That's always an issue when we're dealing with a landfalling tropical system, and we are on the what's typically called the dirty side of the storm, where that is a possibility. So that is what we're keeping a very close eye on for you as we continue to head through the evening hours. So we'll be here keeping an eye on. Now, if you haven't already downloaded our free Pinpoint weather app, the Hurricane app, now is the time to do so. All you have to do is search for WKMG in your app store. Of course, we will be here throughout the evening and overnight hours. Matt.
All right, Julie, thank you. And our tropical storm Colin coverage moves to Marion County, one of the northern spots getting hit with wind and rain. Our News 6 reporter Nadine Yanis is out there live. Nadine, how are we looking so far?
Well, Matt, I got to tell you, the rain really hasn't stopped today here in Marion County. Right now, you probably can't tell, but there is a sprinkle coming down right as we speak, which just shows that this storm comes in waves, and that's the one thing that we've experienced. And even though it's at its lightest moment right now, the EOC is manned right now, and they're keeping a very close eye on Colin. They actually let us come in earlier today. We were able to get a look at the Emergency Management Center. It's manned at a level 2, which means they're not bringing anyone else in, but employees at the Sheriff's Office are closely watching the storm, getting updates from the National Weather Service with Colin's path. Right around 2 o'clock was when their last update they said they got, and at 2 o'clock is when we saw the worst of the storm so far. A band came through bringing a lot of wind, a lot of rain. We saw people running to their cars. That is the combination that emergency management officials are concerned with Colin. They're concerned with the high wind gusts, they're concerned with a lot of rain, and they're also concerned with some tornadoes that could pop up here in Marion County. You can see they want people to get prepared, come to one of these sandbag spots. They have 5 total in Marion County, 2 with the city, 3 with the county, and they also are launching a new program today. They launched it to help people get through Colin. We're going to help you get results about that program tonight at 5. Matt.